equations, and again, do the x, y, and z. I put the y on this end, and then turn these around. So you want c equals 0, you want 4a plus 2b plus c equals -2, 16a plus 4b plus c equals 0. Plug these in with the zeros. So you got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, with zeros, 1, 0, 4, 2, 1, -2, 16, 4, 1, 0. There's your matrix. Everybody comfortable with that? God bless you. When you come back to your answers, plug your answers back into your equation and check your answers. Check them. Put it in your y equals and actually check this thing if you desire to.
Would it same if you put 0.5?
0.5 is fine. 0.5 is fine. It works because this is a terminating decimal. If it was 1/3, we would have to stick with 1/3. So plug that in and make sure that you have those corresponding points in your parabola. Okay, number 2, again, set it up. So this is a plus b plus c equals 4. This is c equals 3. And 4a plus 2b plus c equals 3. 0, 0. Were we okay with this one? So we've got 0, 0, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 2, 1, 3. Did you get this matrix? Our REF? Well, you guys look like you did pretty good with this. There's the answers. Guys, excuse me. How did we get what? This.
How did you get the equation?
This last one?
The final one.
The final one? We plugged in your A, B, and C. We plugged in your A, B, and C. Yeah, you might have the wrong matrix. Let's see what you put for your matrix. Did you put 0, 0, 1, 0? Up, that's a 0.
Oh, I put 3 on the line.
Oh, okay. One thing off, we'll set it off. Yeah. One thing off, and again, remember how I showed you guys to view your matrix before you do anything else? Just go to matrix, hit A, and then when it says A all by itself like this, just hit enter, and it will give you what you put in. That's a good way to check, because what happens is this. When you're done, and we get the answers, and you say, but that's what I put in my matrix. If you didn't, you think you did something wrong, and it might just been something that just didn't go in right. So it's always good to view it before you actually do the final things. So here we are again. So you've got a matrix of 4, 2, 1, 0, 9, 3, 1, -1, 16, 4, 1, 0. Everybody come out with that matrix? Anybody not get these equations? I had you guys put the y on the other end. I didn't hear because this is how we used to solve it. My advocates had to solve it the long way. They had to solve it systems of equations. So it's a lot more involved if you're going to do systems of equations. Putting it in your matrix bypasses all of this. So I always find that equations are the hardest anyway. Once you get them, you should be able to fill in your matrix. Good? All right. And I think this is your last parabola. Ignore the squares over here. I don't know why I put the squares here. Ignore the squares. I don't know why they're there. Because we took the squares out. didn't have to do that anyway. All you had to do was your matrix. Now, at this one over here, do you see this row right here? You could absolutely put in 1/4. But if you don't want to, you could multiply everything by that denominator and get rid of your fraction. If you prefer not to put a fraction in, just multiply by the denominator. Chris, question?
When I put the fraction in, it changed it to a decimal on that.
It'll change it to a decimal. Yeah, yeah. It'll change it to a decimal. It does internally work with the fraction. Like if you had 1/3, you'll see 0.33. But you can go to math, hit the word math, and just enter, and it'll turn it back to a fraction.
What did you times it by?
You can times it by 4 and get rid of your fraction. So this times 4, all of them times 4, because your common denominator between 4 and 2 is 4. So if you decide not to use your fraction, the reason why I multiplied here was because the other group, my honors group, solved it out. So you don't want to have a fraction in there when you go to solve this, right? If you're going to do an addition one, you don't really want to put a fraction in there. You're going to have to get rid of it anyway. So we just multiplied to get rid of it. And isn't this much easier than having a fraction in place and having to cancel one out? You'll never get the cancel out. You'll have to get rid of your fraction. Okay? And this answer was here. If you didn't get any of this, please tell me. We can do this together. And then I think the other two were circles. Here's your circle. Here's your equation for your circle.
Do we have to memorize the formula?
No, I'm going to give you the formula. Yes.
I didn't know what to do with the regular numbers, so I just got 9 tables and I did it.
You didn't do the circles?
No, I tried like the first thing. And I got through most of it, but I just didn't know what to do with the 150.
Put it in your matrix. Did you get all of these, Aaron? Did you get those equations?
Yeah.
Fill the matrix. You're using, yours is now DEF. The only problem is this. You got to just move this guy to that side. Your but your constant has to go there. It's got to be lined up. DEF equals a constant. So you're going to get F is equal to 0. Let's see if I can squeeze this in. F is equal to 0. This guy's going to have 5D plus 5E plus F equals negative 50. And this guy, you got to move this guy over. You're going to have 10D plus no E plus F equals negative 100. Your constant has to be by itself on the right-hand side. Your 3 variables have to be lined up together. Chris, did you have a question? About with the constant, moving it over? You have to move. Remember we did yesterday? We kind of added these together, and then we moved them over. We moved them over. The constant has to be by itself. So then you have a nice little matrix. Okay? And let's cut to this answer. This is sorry? Yeah, just leave it like that. You don't have to complete any square. This is your standard form of a circle. You could solve for y if you wanted to. Get y by itself. When you do that to put this in your calculator, you would get y squared is equal to negative x squared plus 10x. When you take the square root, in case you wanted to check it, you would get y equals plus or minus. That means you're going to put this in y1 and y2. And you just leave this. And then you can check your answers if they're there. The other one's a little harder when you got a y squared and a y. Then I would just substitute it in myself. But this will give you a circle, because what happens is a circle doesn't test a vertical line test. It's not a function. So you have to put it in half the circle and then the other half the circle. Okay? And the last guy, I think this is your last one, right? Is another circle. Again, get these to the other side. So you've got F equals 0. You have 6E plus F equals negative 36. You have 3D plus 3E plus f equals negative 18. Fill these guys with zeros. Constant has to be on the right-hand side. And then you should get your answer. And just leave it in standard form. Okay with that part? Oh. You're good? Okay. Okay. And there's your ending circle. Now this one's a little harder to get y by itself because you're gonna have to complete your square on this one. But I would just take it and substitute them in and make sure they work. Good? Questions? Everybody can do this? Everybody did this last time? Good. Very good.